Oops. Just a minute. Wait, let's pause. Hi. Hi, Facebook fans, all kinds of fans, astrology fans, tarot fans. This is Tara Green. I'm Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and I've been trying to set this up as a live video on Facebook, and of course I'm having technical difficulties because it's still Mercury retrograde, and we all know how that goes. But I'm still persevering because you really need to have your December Astro Tarot preview. Now, if you've never been here before, if you've never come to watch this video, I do this as a monthly offering for the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and I will use one tarot card, one major tarot card out of the 22 major arcanas for the 12 signs, okay? And so I will talk a little bit about the astrology overview, excuse me, for the month. I have a little bit of a cold I'm getting over here. So I'll talk about the lineup of the planets, a little bit of astrology overview, and then I will choose one sign at a time. So if you get impatient, you want to know, when am I going to get to your sign, you'll have to wait, okay? And then I will timestamp it afterwards, and so you'll know where to look if you don't want to read the whole shebang. So if you know your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, also look at which card is assigned to that. Okay, now, let's see what we've got here. Okay, December. It's hard to believe it's December already, right? We're at the end of 2018, which has been, I think, the year of retrogrades. I'm sure you'll agree with me about that. Okay, so it's a rewind year. Now, so Mercury has just re-entered Scorpio as backwards. That's like a breech birth. And Venus has just entered Scorpio too on the 2nd. Also, the Sun has squared Mars yesterday, so people might have been quite antsy, irritable. The next major aspect is the Sun squaring Neptune in Pisces, which can be, it can have a beautiful essence. Pisces is the most spiritual, the most creative, the most romantic, the most idealistic. And so the Sagittarius Sun wants truth. So maybe speak your spiritual truth in on the 5th. On the 6th, Mercury finally, thank God at last, goes direct in Scorpio. Okay, so now do your Christmas shopping because you won't have to return anything that you've already bought. Okay, now there's also a new moon on the 6th at 15 degrees Sag, and 15 degrees of any sign is always the most powerful. So 15 degrees Sag, again, we're truth-telling here, we're being honest, we're being forthright, we're being inspired, we're being optimistic. We've got some humor at last. Jupiter, the planet that rules Sagittarius, is like Santa Claus. He's like the Santa Claus of the zodiac. So that falls at 11:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 7th, and 7:20 a.m. GMT. Now, Mars conjuncts Neptune in Pisces on the 7th. Again, we're really into this kind of Pisces, kind of romantic, idealistic energy. And then Chiron, the wounded healer, turns direct on the 8th and the 9th at 27 degrees Pisces. Now, that is exactly squaring the galactic center. I've worked with the galactic center for a long time. It is the big black hole at the center of our galaxy. It is the cosmic vagina. That's what the Mayans talked about. That was what December 21st, 2012 was all about, was the alignment of that huge, right on the winter solstice with the galactic equator. So Chiron turning direct right there indicates like there's a huge, massive healing energy coming right from the goddess, right from that energy, from the black hole. It's a big wormhole. I would really definitely tune into that energy. It's on at 11:57 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on the 9th at 2:28 a.m. Eastern Time and 7:52 a.m. GMT. On the 11th, Mercury in conjuncts Uranus in Aries, so that might be a real hair-pulling, expect unexpected communications. People can be very erratic. It's like in conjuncts, quincunx energies, 150-degree energies are difficult. The planets do not see each other, so you may not see some crazy chaos coming, let's put it that way. If you'd like to work with chaos magic, it might be great for that. So Mercury enters Sagittarius on the 12th as well. So we're galloping into this more truthful energy. As more planets enter Sagittarius, the energy is fiery, it's upbeat, it's optimistic. It's time to be the sage. You don't need to sage the rooms anymore. You just are the sage, okay? So again, good-humored, positive, nice energy. On the 16th, Venus in Scorpio sextiles Saturn in Capricorn, and The next day, Mars in Pisces sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. So those are a couple of days where the personal planets of love, of sexuality, of passion, of beauty, we're all getting nice aspects to the two heavies, Saturn in Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn as well. Could be big day to make big commitments in terms of relationships at that time. Now, on the 19th, the Sun squares Chiron in Pisces. Again, this is this galactic center energy here being activated. Really tune into what needs to be healed on a soul level. Chiron in Pisces is now finishing up a 50-year cycle. And I think all the empaths, all the psychics I've spoken to are totally exhausted because there's such a huge uplifting of really old, digging deeper and deeper into the onion and going down into as far down as you can go. And the farther down you dive into your pain, the more you rise above. So there isn't any ascending until you go down. So you have to get down there, okay? So some kind of major karmic galactic healing is going, which it can also mean that the beings who love us on the higher dimensions are also sending us incredible healing. Now, and I think you have to stay very grounded and really listen to your body to get that, even though it's coming from such a higher dimensional place. So really tune into that on the 19th. The sun is always on the galactic center on that day. On the 20th, the sun trines Uranus. That's a great day to get totally inspired or to break out of your old routines. Again, right on the galactic center, Sagittarius, Aries. Think outside the box, and this is the big box, I'll have to say. The big galactic center box. That's a pretty big box. Okay, go down the rabbit hole. On the 21st, Venus trines Neptune in Pisces. It's a beautiful, beautiful day for actors, for creative people. You can really transmute, transform into anything. So this is a day of incredible empathy and love and beauty. Good day to write poetry, fall in love with love, all of that. Now, on the 21st, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter in Sag. So this is, again, a good day to download information, to be happy, to be positive, to be energized. Venus also squares Lilith in Aquarius at the 15th degree on that day too. So it's a good day for women to really tune into women's empowerment on that day. I may actually do a little video on that because I work a lot with Lilith. On the 21st, it's the winter solstice. The sun enters Capricorn at 2:22 p.m. PST, 5:22 p.m. EST, 10:22 p.m. GMT. And so now we're at the beginning of the next quarter of the year. And that's archetypally a good day to plan out, to plot where you're going to be in the spring of 2019. There is also a full moon the next day at 0 Cancer. Now, 0 Cancer is called the world point. And it's opposite the world point, which is 0 Capricorn. 0 Cancer is, the degree of the mother. It's the initiation of summer. So it's really this nice balance to have a full moon right at the solstice, the 3 days of the solstice gateway energy. So really, it's about going home, 0 degrees Cancer, going home to yourself, your roots, your foundations, your ancestors, the great mother, the earth, the divine feminine, and really shining a light on that and where we need emotional nurturing, what we need to feel safe. That's Cancer. And what we're giving birth to, okay? So it's a good day to plot that, what do I want to give birth to 3 months from now? Christmas Eve, Mercury squares Neptune in Pisces. That's a nice aspect for Christmas, very sentimental. Watch out how much you're drinking. Watch how much anything you take with Neptune and Pisces, Mercury squaring that. Be careful not to get into political fights, of course, on Christmas Eve. On the 28th, Venus sextiles Pluto, which sextiles are always nice aspects, so it might be good for you to get in touch with your shadow at that point. On the 28th, Mars conjuncts Chiron. Again, the question to ask is like the Fisher King, especially with Chiron and Pisces. I always think about that beautiful myth of the Fisher King. See that movie with Robin Williams and what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name now. But anyway, beautiful Bridges, Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams, beautiful movie, The Fisher King, very famous myth. The question to ask is, what ails you? And that is the primal question, because if you ask yourself that, you will get the healing. So activate that energy. New Year's Eve, Mars enters Aries, which is it's going to be a very fiery, passionate, brand new beginning. Everybody's looking forward to a new year. Mars in Aries, very aggressive, lots of energy. Watch out for fights. And then I'm going to give you a little preview. January the 1st, 2019, the first day of 2019, the Sun conjunct Saturn at 11 degrees of Capricorn. So that sounds like, you know, the first day of the new year kind of is a birth chart for that whole year. So Sun conjunct Capricorn, it's going to be a serious, sober, kind of a tough, karmic, hardworking, tighten your belt year, tough love year. Okay, so let's get down to the tarot readings now. Okay, so Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn in the tarot, the 22 major arcana are also associated with signs. So do you know which one is associated with Capricorn? It is the devil. Okay, now this is, I'm sorry, it's backwards, the devil, or maybe it's lived backwards, or lived backwards, the devil. Number 15 here. The devil, this is the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's a really huge deck that I use when I'm teaching tarot. So associated with Capricorn, the devil, and you know, that's Saturn, the old devil, right? Which is a great book by Liz Green, by the way. Okay, so what I do here, I have my very special crystal. It looks like a skull there, it looks like that. And I take this crystal and I kind of open my chakras up here, and I also do this with the cards, and then I think about Aries. So Aries, you know, what do you need? Well, Mars is in Pisces, and your energy is really submerged in the 12th house and the unconscious. So Aries peeps, what do you need? When you're being the spiritual warrior now, when you're having to, you might be feeling drowning in your emotions as well, or running away from whatever you're feeling and drowning them in addictions. So what does Aries need? Okay, now, if you're an Aries sun, moon, or rising, you get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so for December, Aries people, the Wheel of Fortune is like this, the planet Jupiter. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, this is the wheel of time, karma, right? You can see that, the 8-spoked wheel, because there's 8 stations on the natural wheel of the year. So the Wheel of Fortune, this is good. It's positive. It's like what you need to open up to, you know, as Mars is in Pisces, Aries, you know, Pisces is the 12th sign. So archetypally, this month should be about completion for you. So withdrawing, you know, I know we tend to be running around a lot at this time of year. For those of us who live in the Northern Hemisphere, even though it's a time when we should be tuning in and resting and sleeping because it's winter. Now, for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, you know, you're going to approach summer as we approach winter. So, you know, you're in the opposite phase. So the Wheel of Fortune, whatever hemisphere you're in, whatever planet you're on, the Wheel of Fortune is beneficial. It's like Lady Luck. It's like, yeah, spin that wheel, take a chance. You know, this is the big roulette wheel of life. And life is a game. That's what was coming to me today. Life is just a game, so you can play it how you want. So be optimistic. You know, you may be feeling kind of down. You know, Mars and Pisces, you don't have your energy. You're wondering why your dreams are crazy and all over the place. But that's okay. It's all good. It's all a benefit. It's all a blessing. So Aries, the Wheel of Fortune, spin it. Okay, so Taurus. Now Taurus is, you know, Uranus has left Taurus for now and is back in Aries now. Well, Venus is in Scorpio now. So now you get down into your opposite side, Scorpio. It's much more emotional. It's much more intense. You have to get off your comfy couch. So Taurus, okay, you've got number 20, Judgment. Okay, so this is about, you can see this is the angel Gabriel, okay, and the angel Gabriel is actually a star in the constellation Pisces in tropical astrology, and that's him, and he's an announcing angel. So keep your ears peeled and your gut instincts open to listen. Gabriel's a wonderful, wonderful angel. I work with him a lot. You know, you just have to be open to listen. He will get that message through. So the Judgment is about, it's related to Judgment Day. And so in the book of Revelations, which is a Christian mystical channeling, actually, the dead, all of the good Christians who have died will rise again, will be resurrected. This is about Jesus coming back and Jerusalem, and that's why America, the U.S. moved their embassy to Jerusalem now because they're Bible fanatics and all that stuff. But anyway, number 20. Where are you judging yourself, Taurus? Where are you holding yourself back? What judgments are stopping you from growing? You know, death is always rebirth, and that's what this is about. It's about eternal life. So maybe you're being called to start something new. Maybe something that you put down that you thought, no, that's not going to work. judgments limit everybody, you know what I mean? So again, because you're so kind of stubborn and you don't like change, you know, maybe this is, you need to get ready for this because you know that in 2019 you're going to have to go into a whole new phase in your life as Uranus enters Taurus and continues there for the next 8 years. So see this as a breath of fresh air, new life, the trumpet. You know, what is it that you need to say or to speak or to play? You know, Taurus, you're very musical. You know, the angel Gabriel does blow a trumpet. So maybe it's you need to get your message out there. Okay, so Taurus, judgment. Okay, so now Geminis. Now, Gemini, Mercury. You know, of course, when Mercury's retrograde, it's always harder for Geminis and Virgo, so I commiserate with you. So, and now, you know, Mercury is going to go direct into Scorpio. So you may be feeling a bit heavy these days. And of course, you do get the death card here, Gemini number 13. Okay. So letting go of old habits. It's good in a way, Mercury back in Scorpio, because you know, if you really use this time to really examine your motivations, your hidden unconscious shadows, you know, then you can decide what you want to let go of, what no longer serves your new vision. As Jupiter, you know, is in Sagittarius, it's also going to be opposite, you know, all Gemini, suns, whatever planets are in Gemini for the next year. So that opposition will help you to balance out and to amplify what you need to say out in the world. Now, so death, change, transformation, letting go. There may be some grieving coming up. You know, maybe it's hard to let go. It is hard to let go. The death of yourself. We have to go through deaths and rebirths all the time in life. You have to let go of something to make something else happen. I know you're always split between got to do 2 things at once and I can't decide, but something always has to go for something new to come forward. So this is change, and change is good. And Geminis, you're a mutable sign. You like change. You know, Scorpio allows you to really cut off a lot of crap that you really don't need anymore. And so to move on, okay? Again, the next few days, then you should use this time to really dig deeper inside of yourself. This is Scorpio energy. The death card of Mercury is in Scorpio. So go into your own shadow, go into your own fears, you know, go into what's the worst that could happen. You know, once you face those things, you get much stronger. So use death as an ally and live every day to its fullest, Gemini. Okay. So Cancer. All right, you're going to get a nice full moon right on the winter solstice, Cancers. Okay. And also we have a new moon coming up too. Okay, so Cancer, you get the number 4 card. It's weird seeing this backwards. Okay, the Emperor. I know it's number 4. Okay, you can see it's also related to Aries. There's the ram's heads there and on the throne. So the Emperor, the seat of power. Okay, so Cancer, where do you need to hold your power to sit on your throne? Now, this is the Emperor. It's masculine. It's Aries. You know, the other cardinal sign, one of the other cardinal signs. So Cancers, you know, you tend to be so giving and so nurturing and so loving to everybody else. And you're not usually in your seat of power. You give your power away. And so this is where you need to reclaim it. So this also has to do with boundaries. The number 4, you know, in the tarot has to do with, you know, the 4 elements, the 4 directions. Again, that's a squaring, you know. So what do you need to square up? Is it an issue with somebody in your family, a friend, business? Could be anything. So the King, the Emperor, where do you need to bring your masculine energy into the feminine here? You know, there's also this nice Ankh. You can see there's an Ankh there that the King is holding. That's the symbol of eternal life, Egyptian symbol. So, and also it's about newness. You know, Aries, Cancer, what do you want to start new as we get into this winter solstice, summer solstice down under, of course? Could be issues around fathers, authority figures, anger issues that you need to deal with, somebody you need to confront. I know you don't usually like confrontations, but this is where you need to own your power, okay? And maybe start something new where you do that, where you come out more forthright, more aggressive, and you're the warrior, you know, you're like the mama warrior here. We also have to defend the earth, so this could be where you take up your action, where you act. This is Aries, it's acting, you know, it's not feeling. Or use your feelings to act, okay? So decide what your plan of action is and what you're going to go to war and battle for, and also stop those people who are tromping on your territory. Okay, Cancer, the Emperor. Okay, so that's about the balance of the masculine and feminine. Okay, all right, so Leos. Okay, you get the Empress. Now this is interesting because traditionally, Aries, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Leo is ruled by the sun, and the Leos get the Empress. Okay, so definitely this is very much about Leo, fire, the king, needing to integrate the feminine. Now, this is really quite beautiful, and this is what I really love about the tarot, because its messages are always coming from a higher context. So the Empress, you can see she's a pregnant goddess. She's the great mother. She's Mother Nature. There's the symbol of Venus there on her shield of her heart, the heart of love. She has a round orb, which is like very much like the uterus. It's like the eternal round. Okay, and she's crowned with flowers, and she makes everything grow. She would be Ceres or Demeter, any kind of great mother, Pachamama. Okay, so Leos, you need to integrate your feminine side right now. So where do you need to step down from power in a way? Not step down from, just transition it to another power. Feminine power is just as powerful as masculine power in a different way, but it is more receptive. There is power in receptivity. There's power in, it's like in martial arts where, they never are aggressive. They let the other come at you and you just use their energy. So, you're never attacking. Okay. You're always kind of receptive. So also what it is you're giving birth to, Leos. Do you have a new plan, a new act, a new role, a new leadership program, a new game you're launching, whatever that is? You need to nurture it. It's not time for it to be born yet. So you need to have patience. You need to nurture it. You need to nurture your body. You need to love it. You need to trust. You need to surrender. All those very feminine things. Also it's about the women in your life. If you are a woman, you need to really own your queendom then. This Empress is the queen. Or honor the women in your life if you're a man, and both. Honor each within yourselves. So it's all about love. Basically, it's all about love. And everybody needs to be the heroine in their own story. So Leo, the Empress, could be, you need to call your mom, see your mom, tell your mom how much you love her. Just come from your heart. That's what you're supposed to do anyway. Okay, Leo, the Empress. Okay. So Virgo. Okay, also Mercury retrograde is kind of been a bit harder for you. Okay. Now, okay. Virgo, you get the devil. All right. So Virgos, I know you're perfectionists. I know you're big control freaks. I know you like to think that the harder you work, the more you get everything to line up, the more perfect the world will be. But the world, actually, nobody can control the world. Maybe the higher power or whatever that is can control it, but we cannot. We can only control little bits of it. So know what you can control and what you can't, and maybe you'll have a little peace of mind and the devil isn't driving you crazy, just going work harder, get better, do more, be more productive. And that's also the line of the corporations. And so maybe you want to question that. Maybe you want to question why I'm in this rat race, devil race. Why have I sold my soul to the devil? Why am I working so damn hard? What am I getting back? And it may be that you have to stand up to a tyrant. A devil is whatever it is that's driving you crazy. Again, could be a boss, a corporation, a company, politics, could be anything. Your own devils, your own shadows. Again, fear of being human. It's okay to be human. I think the new energy coming in is very much about being grounded, and the devil is Capricorn, and it's an earth sign, and it's a feminine sign, actually. So I think it's about confronting our own shadows, what we think we're chained to, because in this deck you see the lovers here. The lovers and the devil are numerologically connected. They're actually free. They just assume that they're chained to the devil, that the devil is holding them, but there's nothing holding them. Okay, so looking at our own fear, the devil is fear, our own shadows, what tempts us, seduction. The devil seduces. He really knows how to do that. Okay. And also looking at the demons in disguise as the light. I think that's very important because there's a lot of shadow stuff for people that are into being very light and positive. Not that it isn't a good thing, but they don't want to deal with their shadows. So again, this is all of that. Deal with your shadows, confront your fears, look at how you're demonizing yourself, face those demons. You can just tell them to go, screw off. Okay, and all of that, okay, and I would say also with Mercury and Scorpio, this is a good time to do this, to deal with your own demons and shadows. Okay, so Virgo, number 15, the devil. All right, so Libra. Now Venus, your ruling planet, has been in Libra, so I think it would have probably been a nice, romantic, creative, lovely time, but now Venus is in Scorpio. Okay, and you have the Magician, the number 1 card, the Magician. Okay. So Libras, bring your magic to the table. That's really what it's about. This is like a mesa. This is very much about doing ceremony, because you have to bring all of the different elements as represented on the card here. Now, everybody is a magician, you know. We all have that power, and the magical tool is our minds. It is planet Mercury, it's communication, it's our brains, it's consciousness, you know, even though we don't really understand what consciousness is. But again, intention is everything. You can see the magician has a scepter here, a wand of power, could be anything really, could be your finger even. Intention, drawing down the cosmic power, comes through the heart chakra, and then it's pointed back down to the earth. Okay, so as above, so below. That is the Hermetic rule. The magician also has the infinity symbol over his head. So again, all time is now. When you wake up, when you have the tools, when you use the tools, you use your intention to create what you want. So you create the magic that you want in your life, Libra. Okay, so you don't have to worry about what other people think necessarily. Maybe you don't even have to be in a relationship. You know, you can be in a relationship with yourself, and it can be a magical relationship. You're a magical child, a magical being. So, okay, so Libras, the magician, work your magic. Okay, now, Scorpio. Okay, so Venus is in your sign. So this will be quite a wonderful, intense month. Okay, Scorpios. Okay, and you've got the moon. Okay, the moon, number 18. Now this is, again, the dark side of the moon, very much Scorpio territory. The moon and the dark side of the moon is the hidden, the forbidden, the unseen. Again, the shadows. I talk about the shadows a lot. Okay, so the moon. This represents the dream world. So very much pay attention to your dreams over this next month, Scorpios, okay? Again, it's about fear. You know, the moon is about what we don't know, what we're not familiar with, you know. Again, working with those fears, allowing them to come up into our consciousness. It is a rebirth. Again, Scorpio is all about rebirth. And again, at this point, this card is about that too. So you have to pass through this kind of test here. The two pillars, in a way, are a test. It is also a symbol of being reborn, like the baby coming down the vaginal canal, and the baby's still connected to the mother. It hears its heartbeat, and it knows it's connected, but it doesn't know where it's going. It's just kind of, it can only know what it knows, which is it's always connected to the source. So even if you're in total darkness, and the darkness is also the most creative, the most feminine place, and we need to learn to love the darkness, the dark side of the moon, as the cauldron of all full potential. It's like dark matter. So looking at all of that, looking at our fears and learning to be comfortable with it, know that we're just in the process of birth and rebirth, always, constantly, death, rebirth, transformation, so we can rise like the phoenix. Okay, so maybe do a lot of work at night. Again, before you go to sleep at night, do some visualizations, ask to be conscious in your dreams. Okay, Scorpio, the moon. And it's like Pisces. Okay, again, that's what I'm talking about, dreaming. Okay, so Sag. Let's see, Saggies. Okay. So you've got the Hermit. Okay. So the Hermit, the number 9, is like Virgo. It's a very beautiful card. It's very protective. So you would imagine that you have this figure, this wise old man, wise elder, like a wizard, holding up the lamp, holding up the light for you. So no matter how lost you get or overwhelmed or whatever, there's always this, he's the inner guide. He lives within us. Okay. And he is like the sage in a way. And that's what Sagittarius is all about. You're probably getting, feeling the energy of Jupiter and Sag and that Sun, Jupiter, Mercury conjunction that was so beautiful last week, getting all lit up. But remember to stay grounded. This is Virgo. I'm a Sag. I'm a double Sag. I've got Mercury and Sag. I know how easy it is to get all wired up and positive and let's go and spiritual and inspired with the spirit. You want to act. You have to stay grounded. So remember to eat. Remember to eat well. Remember to nourish your body. Remember to pay attention to the details. Sagittariuses don't do that. They just instantly want to make things happen. And it's in the details. So slow down. Okay, slow down, get grounded. Nothing is really going to manifest unless you do that work, unless you're patient, and also you have to do it from a place of servitude. So I want to serve the highest good. How can I really do that? Where can I bring the most light? It's really about focus. Okay, so Sagittarius, focus. Take some time out. This is, again, in the Northern Hemisphere here, it's winter. Slow down, go within. Trust your inner hermit. Okay. The 9 is about completion, so you need to complete before you can go on. All right, so Capricorn, you get the card of strength here. Now, in this deck, this is number 8. Some decks, it's number 11. But anyway, strength, you can see it is related to Leo. There's the Leo there. This is the woman. She represents the anima, the soul, and she is taming the lion, which means she's taming her own instincts. So Capricorns, you are pretty instinctual. I know you hide behind that veneer of serious responsibility, but underneath you're very instinctual. You're goats. Actually, you're goat fishes, and the fish part is very instinctual. So don't stymie your instincts too much. Don't hold them back too much, but use them. This is also literally about, where are your greatest strengths? Now, again, this card also has the infinity symbol over her head. Again, it's a karmic number. You may have to make some major decisions now to bring things to a central nexus or a core with all time now. I don't want to do the past anymore. I'm not going to worry about the future. I don't know what's happening in the future, but I can make that decision right now. So as a Leo card, do I need to step forward on the stage? Saturn is in Capricorn, testing a lot of Capricorns, but Saturn also is the planet you need to work with if you're going to manifest all those goals, that you usually don't get to until you're older and more mature. So Saturn might be making you feel very tired and exhausted, but it's also going to help you flesh out the bones, and we also know that Pluto's in Capricorn in 2019. Those planets all meet up, 2019, 2020, actually. So strength, their strength is in your heart. It's about expressing your heart, your will, what you need to roar about, Capricorn, okay? Again, strength is not just physical strength. Again, strength of will, heart strength, spiritual strength, all of that, okay? So maybe you look at how out of balance you are right now, Capricorn, okay? And so you get back to your strength, okay? All right, now, Aquarius. So the only thing in Aquarius is Lilith and Vesta, those two goddesses. Okay, you get the Tower, Aquarius. Okay, so the Tower, number 16 here, the Tower of Destruction. Okay, so the Tower is an awakening card, and it's very much like the planet Uranus, if you were going to use modern rulerships. It is associated with the planet Mars, so, something needs to come on and blow up before something new can be created. There's been a lot of protests in Paris, for example, last few days. People are angry, they're acting out, they're destructive. It doesn't have to be destructive if you get the message, So Aquarius, this is really, you're the one who's going to get the message first before anybody else. So listen to your intuition, listen to your mind, look at the big picture, and look at where you can download this big revelation. It's an epiphany. The Towers could be called the epiphany card too, You don't have to get hit over the head that hard to wake up, but most of us do. If you just kind of listen and ask and be aware and trust your instincts, Aquarius is a fixed sign as well. So trust your instincts and go for it and really release, just blow up anything that's holding you back. Just get it out of the way. Chaos can be a really wonderful, powerful energy for you to work with. The old identity, the old self is changing. Now your planet Uranus, again, is back in Aries. So until the spring of 2019, again, it could be like you have to finish up things that started and then really take whatever your new innovation is and manifest it, in 2019. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Okay, so Aquarius, that Tower. Okay, the Tower of Song. Okay. All right, so Pisces, now we're at the last already. So Pisces, Mars is in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, Chiron in Pisces. So you've got a lot of energy there. Okay. And you get number 11, which is called Justice. Okay. Justice in this deck. Okay. Now, this card is associated with Libra. You can see the scales of justice. This is the ancient Egyptian goddess Mot's scales. Now, it's very appropriate, I think, to Pisces, which tend to be so sensitive, and you're probably feeling everybody's wounds right now more than anybody with Chiron, those latter degrees. Scales of justice is karma, and because you tend to feel guilty and root for the underdog and take on everybody else's stuff, whether you can actually or not, the scales of justice has to do with, in the Egyptian times, they would take out your organs and they would weigh your heart against this goddess Mot's ostrich feather. She wore an ostrich feather diadem, and they would weigh your heart against this feather. Now, this is how they could tell whether you were free to go on from this lifetime or not. So if your heart was heavier than Mot's feather, then you had to go back to Earth to finish off your karma until when you came back again, they would weigh your heart again against a feather. And if it evened out, then you got to go on. So I think that's a very beautiful image. Like, your heart needs to be as light as a feather. You have to have no regrets. You have to make sure you've done everything that you needed to do in this lifetime. So Pisces, what does this mean? This means, not taking on things that are yours. Karma will adjust itself. And also watching which battles you're fighting. I know you have a strong sense of justice and right and wrong and very idealistic spirituality. But sometimes justice can be different, depending on the case. Okay. Again, it is about balance. It's Libra energy, wherever you need to continuously right that balance. It's the middle path. Maybe there's a cause that you do want to take up, that you believe in, and you should really do that, in a way that you can get results where you can really bring some change and rebalance things in the world, whether it's the environment or the oceans, of course, or whatever that is. Or it might be a legal case that you're involved in, or it may be just a relationship. What is the just thing to do here? That can always be relative as well. So justice, maybe you need to speak out. Maybe there's something you need to say yourself to bring justice to a situation. Okay, so thank you for watching this. I know this was originally supposed to be a Facebook Live post, but again, because I couldn't get the technology working, I'm doing it on Zoom, and I'm sorry, usually I would be able to see people tuning in, but I will post this on Facebook, and it'll eventually be posted on the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. So I want to wish you all a wonderful December. Happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah already. Whatever your holidays are that you celebrate, may they be bright. So happy solstice coming up, and I'll see you in the new year. Blessings. Bye-bye.